Hello and welcome to another midweek message at Summerstrand United Church. It's awesome to have you joining us online today. So this week our midweek message is simply entitled The Truth. And our verse is in 1 John chapter 2 verses 3 to 6. We know that we have come to know him if we keep his commands. Whoever says, I know him, but does not do what he commands is a liar. And the truth is not in that person. But if anyone obeys his word, love for God is truly made complete in them. This is how we know we are in him. Whoever claims to live in him must live as Jesus did. This is the word of the Lord. So there's this tendency to say that we work out our own truth by ourselves, by interpreting the things around us, by searching out the truth in ourselves or whatever we might deem correct. Maybe it is through Google or some other means, but we try and work out our own truth. But truth is nestled right in the middle of the work of God. We got to see this over the weekend in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 13 to 14. There's this truth nestled right in as we find belief in the truth, as we thank God, experience God's love, are sanctified by his Holy Spirit, and look forward to his glorious return. That's been the whole journey of our Thessalonian studies, is living in the light of Jesus' return. And we've been looking at this last week of just how we are staying on the track of truth. And so where there is truth of the gospel, there is continually something to do. Truth in the gospel, truth in the Bible is never merely theoretical. We are to delight in his word. We are to delight in his truth. For it is the light to our path, and it shows the true way in practice. At the end of the Sermon on the Mount, I find it so interesting that Jesus didn't give a spot quiz to his disciples. He didn't say, okay, cool, let's do a little bit of a recap. Remember the Beatitudes? Just quickly list them for me again. What was the new teaching I said about anger, or the new teaching I said about adultery? Jesus' mandate at the end of the Sermon on the Mount is those who put Jesus' word into practice are his true disciples. As simple and as tough as that. And we've seen this in Thessalonians, this port city, and we know it to be true in our hearts, that the truth of the gospel is not merely theoretical. The truth of the gospel impacts our lives, it impacts our thinking, the way that we do life. There's always this new Jesus way. So on this journey of living out the truth, let us not forget that we are not alone. Apart from our fellow brothers and sisters, we will always have God's grace and the Spirit of truth as we go along as companions. God's grace and God's Spirit. So as we keep all of this in mind, let us turn to our main verse from 1 John. Just have a look at that verse again. We know that we have come to know him if we keep his commands. Whoever says, I know him, but does not do what he commands is a liar, and the truth is not in that person. This is a straightforward, no beating around the bush statement. If we claim to follow Jesus, we are to live like him. And so what do we do if we do not know where to start? Well, I would suggest that we start where we find ourselves today. And as we find ourselves today, remind ourselves of the grace of God and that we have the Spirit of God living inside of us. If we have given our lives over to Jesus, if we are followers of Jesus Christ, we have the Holy Spirit indwelling us. And this Spirit is the Spirit of truth living inside of us. And then take that first small step towards obedience in Jesus. Small steps are so critical. There's not, we know this particularly in our exercise regimes. Maybe, I can't believe it's almost the end of the year, but maybe in the middle of the year, we're like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this many push-ups. I'm going to run this far. I'm going to cycle this far. And we make these awesome promises to ourselves or these awesome ideas of what I'm going to be able to do. And then in reality, we should have rather gone for one push-up instead of 100. Or we should have maybe aimed to have cycled a kilometer before we cycle 100 kilometers. Well, I think it's the same thing in our faith. Let us take the next small step of faith, and we'll soon be running. Whatever that might be for your own life today. So just a few reflective questions to maybe help our minds and our hearts settle into where God might be calling us today in his truth. What truth of the gospel is God asking you to stand firm for today? Wherever you find yourself, at home, at school, at work, in your family, in your own life, what is God asking you to stand firm on in his truth? Secondly, what situation or person is God asking you to reflect his love to in this moment? So maybe this moment is right now. Maybe this moment is today, this afternoon, or this week, or this year, or this month. In this moment, what is God asking you to, or who and what situation is God asking you to reflect his agape love, his perfect, unconditional love to? And who, even maybe against evil, is God asking you to share the truth with today? Friends, wherever the truth of the gospel is, there's always something to do. So let us love the gospel. Let us love doing the gospel work. And let us consider how we may spur one another on as we go on this journey together. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you that you have saved me. Thank you for your grace. Holy Spirit, thank you for your work in my life. Father, may you give me the strength and wisdom to live the truth of the gospel, to bring stability, love, and mission into my life and my community. Help me to marvel at the gospel, be inspired by it, love it. For as we keep our eyes fixed on the gospel, the things of this world grow faintly dim, and our actions are quickened by the truth. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's midweek message. And we encourage you to come and join us this Sunday. We have our family service at 9 o'clock, and it will be wonderful to see you there. Bye for now.